we are so excited to have you guys on because it's not every day we get a great rock album, and now we've got this, and you guys have to be so excited to put this out there in the world because it's getting such a good reaction. People are loving it. People need some good rock and roll in their life, right?
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, we're excited to put it out. Like last time we talked, I was telling you, man, just I think we're excited. We excited? Very much so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's so many good songs on this thing, and I know it's maybe like choosing a favorite child, but do you have a particular song that to each of you that means a lot, or something that you were just really excited for people to hear?
I guess you want to go first or
Yeah, so Cityscape at the end, that one just sets such a pleasant mood, I think. And this gentleman over here plays so many exotic chords. It really gave me a lot of room to kind of play around. And I remember back to that day, like a lot of what the lead played was like written either the night before or seconds before entering the studio. So kind of like a perfect storm of chaos kind of ending up on tape. So I really enjoy that one.
yeah, I think there's a lot of room in the lead guitar stuff. I When we write songs, we leave a lot of room for improvisation on lead guitar. So that's kind of cool. For me, my favorite song on the record is probably Money Cancer.
Mhm.
Just because lyrically, I feel that song is so relevant to every problem the world has right now.
Yeah,
I would say.
absolutely. And then I want to go back to the origin of the band. How did you guys find each other?
So I had just seen Matt play in the scene around, the Curtain Club for many years, and I had reached out to him about playing in my last project, The Orange, but he was with he just didn't have time or whatever. And then Braxton was a fan of The Orange, and he started playing drums for us. He's actually the reason the band even started, really, because I was kind of burnt out, wasn't interested in playing music anymore. And then Vince was in the band Oh No with Steve Holt, and I was a big fan of Oh No, years ago. So I don't know, it just came together really easy, really naturally, I would say.
Hmm. And of course now we're going to get some tour dates from you guys, including a few area shows, right?
Yeah, so in September we're doing a fall tour around Texas. We are just kind of starting off. This is our first record, so we're just going to tour around Texas a little bit and see how it goes. We're hoping in 2025 to get out to at least one of the coasts, probably in New York City because Braxton lives in New York.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, we're playing San Antonio, we're playing Austin, we're playing Waco, and the Waco show is going to be filmed for a TV show, which is pretty exciting. And we're really hoping to be considered to play ACL next year as like an opening band.
How do you guys feel about the live music scene in Dallas right now? I mean, it's something that's just changed so much over the years. And where are we at right now as far as what's it like being in a local band at this point in time? Like with a lot of our favorite clubs are gone.
It's definitely different than I think that when we started. But what I
Hmm.
will say is, what I like about it is that the people that do play in local bands really play because they love music.
Hmm.
All the bands that were on our record release party, Memory Shivers, Fit, and Making Coffee, were all great, fantastic bands, all friends of mine. And I think it's more centered in different little pockets of people that are really passionate about what they do, and there really are a lot of very talented musicians in Dallas right now. We just need a little bit more organization, maybe a couple record labels to really step up, help out, and some management companies to um, grow things how they did, 10, 15 years ago.
And kind of going off of that, I kind of put music on hold for a while to go back to school, finish my bachelor's degree, and I guess I didn't really appreciate it at the time, but such a sense of community and identity with being a local musician, and Scott kind of lured me back in, got my feet wet again. So kind of going off what he said, people are very passionate about it that are enduring the difficulties of the scene now, and makes me appreciate it all that much more. So really appreciate this guy. Thanks for doing this,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah. Well, who are some other bands that are doing it right, in your opinion, right now that we need to have an eye on?
Locally, I would say the band Fit is really good. They play main support for us for our record release party. Love their music. Memory Shivers is a huge. The singer of Memory Shivers, Eric Martin, has been a huge influence on me all these years. He's somebody that I consider one of the best musicians Dallas has ever produced, especially for the kind of music he plays, which is shoegaze, psychedelic. Those are really good. I was part of a project called Sounds of Deep Ellum that featured like 10 different bands. Actually, Memory Shivers was on that. I would encourage people to, not to toot my horn or whatever project I'm part of, but Sounds of Deep Ellum, I think, is a great starting point to kind of figure out what's going on right now with local bands that are playing, bringing people to shows, and really making an impact.
And of course, the album is really, really important to you. And I know the songs each have their own special meaning, but some of them kind of touch on places that it's hard to bring out. And was there a song that kind of maybe almost didn't make it just because it was just a little too personal, or do you find that's the best way to express yourself and it is good to get it out there?
Money Cancer was the hardest song to record and the hardest song to make. I always wanted it on the record, and we re-recorded it 3 times to get it right. And Braxton and I, the drummer, we went round and round about it, and I was like, it's got to be right. Some of the more personal songs like Someplace or Still Time was done in one take on acoustic guitar. I think I did maybe 2 takes on vocal. But Aztec Milk Temple's very efficient in the studio. That's one thing I love about playing with this band is when we get in the studio, we do 1 song in 1 day, and the producer we work with too.
And efficiency comes in different forms. Talking about 1 takes, the intro to Money Cancer was me being just incredibly frustrated and pissed off, and they're like, play something. We need a voice for this song.
That lead guitar part.
Like, it all just happened at once for me being pissed off. Like, you want a lead? All right, here you go. And that was just pure frustration. And they were like, holy crap, that's awesome. Keep that. And it's like, all right, I'm done.
My sister and I went to lunch, and we left Matt alone at the studio with Frenchie Smith, the guy that made our record, or he made most of it. And we go eat some Mexican food, and then we come back, and Matt has come up with this insane guitar part. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, that's totally Jerry Cantrell. Fuck, that's going on the record. Oh my God, it's magic. That's exactly what the song needed.
I was just blinded by frustration, so I don't take credit for that.
Hey,
that
that's all right.
That was really a cool surprise.
Yeah, wherever the inspiration comes from, right?
Blinded.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, there's a lot of people that would love to play in bands and make it look cool like you guys do. So we always love to get advice from people. So what kind of advice do you give to other kids that are playing guitar right now that want to do what you do?
Just go ahead, Matt. What do you think?
Well, I think when I started, it was kind of like I was probably 15 and thinking, what do I really want to do for a living? And you'd watch like band videos, home videos, DVDs, Korn's, Who Then Now, and all that stuff. And you realize like how fun it can be, but you really only think about the exciting aspects. There's a lot of work involved, obviously, to start to build upon the egg that you start with. And I don't know, I guess I was thinking about money and less about the beauty of the arts. And having done it so long without any money, you kind of develop this sense of identity and sense of belonging. And long story short, just do what you love, and it'll mean that much more to you. So I guess that goes into like, do it for the right reasons, do it the right way.
Yeah. Have fun. I think the most important part of all of it is have fun and try to play with your friends. Some of the experiences that I've had playing in bands over my 20 years that I've been doing it, I mean, they're some of the best experiences of my life. And give yourself a chance and really listen. And another thing is you can learn a lot from both older musicians and younger musicians, which I think that all of us, have benefited from. So really listen and really enjoy. Being a musician is not a competition. It's about finding your inner voice. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true. It's about finding your inner voice and being comfortable with just letting it out, I would say.
Absolutely. Well, and a little bit later tonight, I'm going to see the one and only Drew Pearson, my co-host, and
Oh yeah.
one of our great Dallas Cowboys. And our signature question. You told me to ask you your Hail Mary moment, the moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you.
Oh man. Okay, so for me, Aztec Milk Tipple had a Hail Mary moment. I would say in 2019 because we were about to, or 2020 because COVID had just happened. Of course, I don't make a big deal about that. But we had just gotten signed to Idol Records, and we were really like, okay, we just got signed. We did a really big show at Trees, and kind of in celebration of that. And then everything got locked down. And then the drummer Braxton and I really started butting heads a lot about everything, just every little thing. And our Hail Mary moment was we were breaking up. I had just met Matt and we had jammed a few times. He goes to rehearse with us one time and it sounds amazing. And then Braxton and I get in a big fight. And we decide, the band's gonna be over. That's it. I'm not doing this anymore. Because Braxton and I really did butt heads. We don't anymore. But what happened was we didn't play with together or whatever, and everything was in lockdown, so you couldn't play anyway. And then we just got this weird show. Matt showed up. We were just all hanging out. We played a terrible show. Matt wasn't in the band yet. Just horrible, just god awful. And we were like, okay, look, the Hail Mary moment is we're either gonna let this dude in the band clean our shit up, actually practice, care, get back to the studio and finish this record, or we're gonna break up, and that's it. I'm done with this shit. And Braxton and I came to terms with it, and he had his terms, and I had my terms, and we just did it, man. And today we're sitting here, talking to you about our record, and it's otherwise these songs just would have remained in our heads for years, never released. So that was our band's Hail Mary moment.
A lot of cosmic BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, you have a good Hail Mary moment for us as well?
Well, if we're giving advice to the children, I would say also it's important to be humble because it's really easy to get jaded if you're not making money and 10 years have gone by and all you really have is cool stories. And I remember being so young and full of piss and vinegar. And maybe this is like a retroactive Hail Mary. I don't know. It's been a while since I graduated with an English degree. How about you?
The Hail Mary moment is like the one moment that you either jump off the cliff or you go back.
It's important to tell the kids to stay humble because I remember being in the club and seeing like opening bands and stuff and be like, man, I'm gonna stomp them. I'm awesome. I practiced for 2 hours. I'm awesome. And then I'll go on stage and it'll just be like the most like embarrassing, humbling experience of a lifetime. So those can pop up at any time. So the Hail Mary moment is not giving up. When really pathetic moments like that happen, and centering yourself, staying humble, enjoying this experience of life and all the beauty that art has to deliver. So many Hail Marys. Everyone's a Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's true.
What he's trying to say is that playing in a band with me, I'm a very chaotic front man. Things get broken, guitars get thrown, things get thrashed. I've smashed one of my guitars. One time I smashed one of my favorite guitars. Thank God it got fixed. But there's a lot of chaos, and Matt staying around the chaos. That's his Hail.
When you broke that guitar, that was probably a safety or a blitz for a loss.
At our record release, man, I almost busted this one.
Oh wow, a beautiful guitar.
I saved a year for this, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
I threw it down. I was like, this thing's out of tune.
Lead singers.
Thank God my uncle went to our record release party and I looked down and he's grabbing it. He's like, be careful with that. I know you worked a year for that. Be careful with it. So, but yeah, it's all fun stuff, man. It's been a real joy to play music again.
Absolutely. Well, and then of course, part of that is just when we talk about that success mindset too, is like sort of keeping in mind, us creative types, we're so hard on ourselves, and so just sort of keeping in your right mind, is there something you tell yourself that kind of keeps you on that right path and keeps you focused and go, hey, look, we got a great record we put out. We have to focus and do all this, put everything else aside.
I'm I think I'm really good about planning things out. Like I've learned with age has come, with maturity, I'm not in my 20s anymore, but uh, with maturity comes being able to like see point A, point B, point C, point D, and the things you have to do to get those things. And be really, I I would stay strategic with time and just really manage your efforts. And I think that if you have a goal in mind, you really have to work out the points. How do you travel from these different points to get that final goal? And this record was definitely something like that for all of us.
So I just thought of a Hail Mary.
Yeah. All right.
Scott and Aztec are about to break up, and he literally calls me like saying, "We've got a tour in about a week and a half." And,
Oh shit! That's a Hail Mary moment.
yeah, it's like, we got to have you in the band, or else I don't want to do it. And it was like, all right, let me brush up on these songs I haven't played in 7 or 8 months. And we went on the road, and it was so much fun, about the most fun you'll ever have. And like those moments, those defining moments in a band's I don't know, fun little beginning, like kept happening and all these cosmic things. So me telling Scott not to buzz off because I'm not interested, I guess that was a pretty big deal.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, Paul. We almost I forgot that whole thing. So Braxton and I worked it out, and he was like, "You're gonna go on this tour," and I was like, "I'm only gonna go on tour if Matt joins the band." And he was like, because he wanted us to be a 3-piece, which we originally wanted to be, but I had all these other guitar parts that Matt was able to add to and stuff, and I was like, we were either gonna go on tour, record a record, keep our record deal, whatever, or we were just gonna break up, and it was just like totally black and white, man. No gray area. So that was our collective Hail Mary moment.
I love it. Well, and maybe a last thing, maybe this is like asking someone who's in the hospital when they're going to have another baby. But I know that you're probably already working on new music. Will we hear some even more new stuff pretty soon?
So I think we're gonna get back in the studio in December. So we're gonna do a tour in September around Texas. And then I think in December we're going to get back in the studio and do at least a single, if not a couple more singles. We're actually working on music as we're talking. We got our amps all geared up and guitars. So many guitars out. But yeah, we've got 3 new songs in the works that I think we're just excited to keep releasing music. I think at this point you just have to be excited to be an artist and have the opportunities to do things like that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited for you, and I'll let you guys get back to it. Please make us some more great rock and roll. We need it. For now, we're gonna tell everyone to check this out and go see you guys live, because the shows are, I know, a lot of fun, and I'll see you there for this next one locally.
All right. Well, thanks, Paul. Thanks for the time, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you
All
guys.
right, man.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.